Okay, Miss Bev is home and she wants to talk. So I hope my friends out there in YouTube land that you have a lot on your mind and wants to talk about it. So join me so we could just have a little talk. Remember in the old days, my grandmother, she used to visit our neighbor, and they would just talk about everything. And I find that as I got older, it has become a part of me. I love to have company. Roberta, you're always there, just loving me and supporting me. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you. I so appreciate you. As you know, we have so much to talk about, and it's nice when we have someone we can talk to. I hope all is well with you. I wish you all the best, and I really enjoy and appreciate your support. Thank you, Roberta. Um, so yes, as a child, I remember my grandmother used to just go. I'm just um yeah. So as I was saying, that as a child, a lot of things that we do in our old and as we grow up, it started with our youth when we were young. Oh, I don't know, Roberta, because I don't know if he's gonna come on here. And so because I'm doing this and I cannot answer for him, I really don't know. I don't think he blocked anyone. I don't think so. But but I wouldn't be able to answer that question. And I doubt anyone here would be able to. Hope you understand that. I can only speak from my experiences and from my end. So we can talk about how things are going so far, or if you have any concerns or little things that are going on in our real life today, in our society today. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Roberta. I appreciate it. So, as I wait for people to come in and talk, and let's talk. What's on your mind? I what as I said, what we did, what we are exposed to as young children. As we get older, we find that we gravitate to some of those things, and the good things stay. And for me, seeing how she lived with her neighbors, and always after dinner or so, she would walk down to look for the goats or something, to move the goats or something, and she would stop by, and they would just talk. Pick up yourself, Weedy. Welcome, Weedy. Welcome. Thank you, Weedy. Um, and as they would stay there and they would talk, and we would play, and just good, loving things. My grandmother used to read the newspaper. She would get one newspaper, which was the Sunday newspaper. Every Sunday on my way home from church, I had to stop and pick up her newspaper at Marcelin's shop. And she would take that and she would read through every little nook and cranny in that newspaper. And that built her vocabulary. She didn't go far in school, but she could read and she loved to read. Lady V, Queen V, my dear, thank you for coming in. Um, totally appreciate you. And she would read every little point of that newspaper. And I would listen to her when she's having conversations with other people and see how knowledgeable she was. and and so as she would go by the neighborhoods and she would sit there on the stone, there weren't rich people, so they didn't have fancy chairs to sit in. But she would sit there or stand there at the wall and they would just talk. And they would just talk. And so she was giving advice. Probably that's who I got it from. I maybe that's who I got it from. I want to help people with solutions. Um and so that's how it is. So tonight I just wanted to jump on and to just see what's on our mind. Weedy, what's on your mind? Anything you want to share? Anything good? Anything that is puzzling? Anything that you want to share? How about you, Lady V? How is everything going? How is the new year treating you? So it's good when we have people that we can share our thoughts with. Um, Sometimes I remember just hearing Granny like talking to herself. You could just hear little sounds, and you look, and she's there. Actually, maybe there was a conversation they had, and now she's thinking of things that she should have said or could have said, or how she's going to say something the next time. But sometimes she's just there. She's not crazy, but she's there just talking to herself. And but she was good at that. She was good at um encouraging people, motivating people. You're good, very good, Weedy. That's how it is, Weedy. You um you want to just stay in that little path where you let nothing bother you. You just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, as you continue to grow. So as for me, his kids came back today. They were on vacation, so today is the first day that we saw them again. And it was just so refreshing to see them. It was just so refreshing. I felt so good when I walked in and the first one came to the door and I just saw how much I missed them. So they'll do the 2 days today and tomorrow, and then they're back out um Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because of the hybrid. But it was kind of good. And then we made some calls last Friday to parents of kids who weren't coming in. And today, actually, I had 3 kids who they have been on the roster, but I've never seen them. And then they were in the class today. So I really, really had to. Oh, Roberta, I am glad that you're on this live, Roberta. I am so happy because at the end of the day, Roberta, don't it's if we hurt ourselves, then it doesn't change the situation. So I am here to encourage you. I am here to let you know that so we have gone through our lives have changed over and over again. Um, and so because of it's the things that we go through that makes us stronger. It's not easy, but we find a way through them. So I'm glad that you are always supporting me, always there supporting me, and I'm grateful that I am encouraging you also. So I'm glad I jumped on when I did, and just know that you'll be missed, man. Don't go anywhere, you'll be missed. You know, I see you when I post things, how quickly you're there to say, blessings, Miss Bev. And it means a lot to me. You see, I respond to them. I take the time to care because I know you took the time to care. So it's the little things. It's the little things. And we give thanks because we all go through things differently. And no, no, our situations are not the same, but we can bless someone through our experiences, so that it doesn't have to be that way for everyone. So um, there were times when I was growing up and people would say, they would remind us that, we have this situation here and we think it's so hard. And Mary Jane has her situation, and John Brown, and so many people. But then, if we were asked to throw our situations down, and then because we think somebody else's is easier, but when you realize they tell you go pick up your back your pick up, and you're going to pick up back yours because when you realize somebody else's is worse than yours. So we don't know why, and we can't understand it. Not everything we can understand, but let's just give thanks at each and every moment. Sometimes it's hard. I'm here talking now, but there were years when I had it rough. As I said, I have children, and I was a single parent. When hobbies are not doing what they need to do, you don't sit down in stress. You don't accept less. You tell them go, but then you have to work the extra job, and you have to do the extra parenting. You have to get things done. So you can sit down and cry and mope. You have to get up and get it done. And I am here as a living testament to let you know it can be done. Um, there were times when I cried. And Happy New Year, LeSean. Happy New Year. There were days when I cried and I never knew my daughters. They were twins. So you just imagine having two kids at once and have to make sure I raised them. And then when I had my son 6 years later, and I thought, well, the marriage would work out, and you have a husband who cheated. And then what do you do? Do you give up? Or do you have to, you say pack and go? But as I said, everything becomes my situation. I had to work hard to make sure my kids were okay. So many times when it seems like I couldn't do it anymore, and I would just stay in my area and cry. And years later, my daughters would say, Mommy, we used to hear you crying. But the good thing is that they learn to appreciate me. Yes, never give up, Lady V. You can't give up because you know what? You work and you put the effort in. When my daughters finished school, they went to school in New York, and people would say, "Oh, you couldn't send your kids to that school," but they did go there, and they excelled. They continued. Their grades were their state test scores stayed in the high 90s. It stayed in the high 90s. And so, as they strive, I had to make sure they were going to school. I started school, and I had to find time to work to maintain them. And they were the encouraging force. If I would say, I'm not going to school tonight. No, mommy, you have to go. Mommy, you'll get an F. And they would encourage me. And because of that, I had the motivation to keep going. But as soon as I finished middle school, they were able to get scholarships to go away to an all white high school. I couldn't tell them, don't, you can't go because here is my son, here's your brother. No, they got it, they have to go. And so now it was a little bit more because you want to make sure they're okay. And I have to maintain my home, still working, going to school. So it was rough. But you know what? We stuck together. They understood, they appreciate all the efforts and all the sacrifices. And they didn't finish because I took them to Jamaica and they loved it there and they finished high school. And they came back here straight into college. So with all the harsh life, it wasn't easy. But we did what we had to do. They stayed focused, they stayed loving, they stayed kind, and they made it. And my son, when he was ready to go away to college, my husband, this husband came up. So he's my second husband, but I'm grateful. So before, it was tough, but we stuck through it. So I'm just saying, whatever we're going through, it will pass. The days might look dark, but there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how small it is, it will get better. So I'm just admonishing us to, you know, sometimes we cry and we just cry out loudly and let it all out. But then we said, you know what, it could have been worse. We'll pick up the pieces and we keep going again. So, as Lady V, I agree with you. We never give up, we never give in, you know, we keep on going. And if we have to reach out and ask for help if we need to. So, LaShawn, tonight we're talking about what's on your mind. And yes, Happy New Year with all the excitement going on around us. We have to find that light somewhere, LaShawn. And as we keep moving forward. So, what's on your mind? You're off to, oh, you're not off today, Lady V. Thank you, Lady V. Oh boy, LaShawn. Was that from the COVID? Okay. Um, LaShawn, I'm glad you jumped out tonight because in these times we need people. We need, so I'm glad you're back out and you're able to come on and just share with us. As I said, I love to talk. I love people around me because I think that's the way I was raised. Um, I have three sisters and a brother, and even though when I grew up, I was, we didn't all just grow together, but I like people around me because I like to talk about different things. And I find that when that happens, it takes your mind away from some things. So I'm happy that you're back out with us and that things will be better. And make sure you rest peacefully. Um, but don't forget that the memories live on. Sometimes just think of some things she would say or do and just laugh out loudly. Just always think, what if she was here? What would she do? What would she say? And so that we can continue living. 'Cause that's what she would have wanted you to do. So it's still a beautiful day. And as I said, the kids came in today and I was happy to see them. Um, we're hoping dearly that soon this COVID thing will pass on and things can get back to some sort of normalcy. We hope, and because it's always something else. When it's not one thing, it's another thing. But we hope soon that we will. Yes, Lady V, we hope and pray that it will go away, and so people can hug one another again. People can just, just wear the mask. It's an interesting venture. There you go, LaShawn. Just give thanks. It's even for that tonight to be sharing right here with us. It counts for something, no matter how small. It counts for something. So I like that. So so as I always, me always saying, we give thanks no matter what. It's sometimes it's tough to say that because we don't know people's situation. We don't know what they're going through. But I always say, as long as we are human beings, we have things in common. As long as we're human beings, we have things in common. And even though it might not be the same, because sometimes some of us, we believe in different things for different reasons, but because of different experiences. Um, but we all go through. And if when I'm hungry, I need something to eat. It's the same thing for others. When they're hungry, they need something to eat. When they're thirsty, it's the same situation. They need something to drink. If you're in pain, you need comfort. And so we have more in common than we can, So again, I can tell you that the way you handle your situation is wrong or right. I can only say that um, whatever it is, we try to talk to people, find support, and just give thanks. Give thanks. Today I went down to see the principal, and just standing there, and all of a sudden my knee just there was a pain in my knee. I don't know where it came from, but it just came. And all of a sudden, I was having problems like just, I'm looking like, what just happened? I didn't hit it on anything. I was just standing, she was on a phone call, and I was just standing there waiting for her to finish. And the next thing I know, the knee just started giving me no love whatsoever. So then when I left, I was actually kind of limping out of the office. And then I took the elevator up. I couldn't walk up the stairs. And even I got home and it's still just acting. But I know I'm going to put some warm things on it and then hopefully tomorrow it will be better. But that's how life is. We hear and then all of a sudden something just happens out of the blue. But I can't give up. I have to find a way to fix it and to keep on going. So I am the long winded lady who is just here. And if we have questions, I'm willing to answer. How is everything with you, Miss Bev? And the kids? The kids are fine, I must say. I'm grateful, giving thanks always for them. They've grown up now, they're big people, and I'm so thankful for that. For me, as I said, I am grateful that, you know, I got up this morning and I give thanks and I went to work and I was fine, but then the knee started, but I can't give up. I'm going to just nurse it, give it some love and nurse it a little, rub it a little, and hopefully by the time I go to bed tonight or I sleep through it, it will feel much better. But I'm just giving thanks, Leshawn. Thanks for caring. Thanks for asking. So we're just here. How was your day? Weedy, are you still there? Are you still hanging out with us? Yes, okay. So that's how it is. We see what's happening here, but I try not to put my mind into all of that because I said, you know what, people who are in charge and the people who have the power, let them handle all of this. There's nothing we can really do but pray and hope for the best. Um, and we know that in no matter how there's no perfection anywhere, so we can only hope and pray. Tonight I drinking a Snapple. This is like I like the mango ones. This is apple. I like the mango ones better. Used to be not so sweet. Thank you, Lady V. Thank you. I'm gonna unhealthy. I love the healthy word. Happy. We hope. We do hope for that happiness. And again, too, Lady V. You know what? Sometimes we're looking for happy. We're expecting people to make us happy instead of finding things within ourselves to make us happy. When we become dependent on others for our happiness, it howdy Joe. Hey pumpkin. Mhm. When we depend on others to make us happy, then we find a lot of unhappiness because when they don't say the right thing, when they don't do the right thing, when you need something and they don't, they can't afford to help you, and then people get frustrated. So we're wishing everyone that you'll find happiness within yourself, and so if you can find that place to be happy, then you will be able to 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 find it instead of depending on someone. Because somebody says no, then you just don't let that take your joy away. It's okay. If somebody, whatever it is, we're not dependent on them, then we can be better. Our mental status will be better. Because it's when we are dependent and then we feel disappointed, we feel hurt, we feel like nobody cares about us. And it creates a whole lot of other things. So we wish that everyone, yes, would be healthy and find that peace in themselves, that happiness within themselves, and so that they can be content. What's on your mind, Joe? Nothing? So we just from plantains. Go girl with your bad self. Yes. Okay, got it. Appreciate you. Thank you. Don't let them plantain burn up. Had work today? Went in today, you say you work from home. Okay, cool beans, cool beans. Got it. Laura, good to see you, my dear, my dear. Good to see you. So I'm just hanging out here for a minute, just to see what's on people's mind. Thank you, Lady V, for coming by to support me as always. Things are working. I thank you so much, so much, so much. Haha, hello, hello, hello. JS, hello. Thank you for coming by, Pumpkin. Appreciate you too. Lady V, thank you so much. Um, it is, they talk about networking, and it is so true that when you realize that you're not alone, you're not an island, that you just you have to talk. And when you talk and people know, then they're able to guide you and help you. I thought Miss Roberta, she has been consistently there, encouraging. Um, I drop a video and she's right there, supporting. Totally appreciate you. And Sean, even though um, you know, you're on past, oh boy. All right, so you know what, LaShawn? I am, well, I'm in a different place because my grandmother had 14. So I have aunts and I have, but don't. You take care of yourself, LaShawn. You take care of yourself. There are things we don't understand, but we take care of yourself. And just know that you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right because you are going to make yourself be all right. Sometimes we don't understand it. I say when my mom passed away a couple of years ago, and I was angry. But you know what? I realized, I said, what if what had happened, and when they resuscitated her, she was still here? And then I have a lot of weight to deal with. I have weight issues to deal with. So yes, she could have been here with me, but the care, the level of care she would need, I wouldn't be able to give it to her. And so for me, I learned to not be selfish. I learned to understand that yes, we miss them and yes, we want them here. But you know what? It is also true that when people are in pain and we're here saying, no, we don't want you to go, even though they're in pain and they're struggling, and we don't know how it feels. And then I think that is so, it's like a selfish kind of thing. I realize that. God is able. Exactly right. You put everything in his hand and you watch him navigate everything for you. And you're going to smile and say, this makes sense. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. God is good and he will clear the path for you. So, Roberta, thank you for staying on, and everything is going to be okay. And as Lady V says, enjoy and like the video. And those who have not subscribed, you can subscribe, please. And that's it. Yes, my God grant you peace and comfort. Amen. Very good. God is able, and He got you. He has you. He's looking out for you, and He will be with you. Thank you. Thank you. So it's never easy. It's never easy. But with God, all things are possible. So what's on your mind, JS? Okay. Curried lentils. Never had that. Somebody did I think they said it's lentil soup is good, but I've never had it. I always use the regular Jamaican beans. Right. So I just had jumped on to see if anyone had anything on their minds. And again, Roberta, I will lift you up in prayer. Sean, I will also lift you up in prayer. And for everyone, we pray one for another during this time. And we lift each other up because we know God is a good God and He is able. Leaky baby, oh my God. Good night, Leaky. Good night. Oh, Leshon, bless your heart. Thank you. And I hope you will find some motivation in them, Leshon, and some upliftment. I hope, I hope, I hope, I hope. And thank you so much. Oh, you just got in, Leaky baby. How is it down there? Is it calm now? I think I shared with you that I lived in Prince George's County for a minute, for a couple of years. I taught at two schools down there, Benjamin Stoddart and Stephen Decatur. Thank God you got home safely. Are you driving or do you take the train? So many questions I'm asking. Oh, you have a lot to watch, LeSean. You're gonna have to do a whole um you're gonna have to set them and just watch them each one because King Nick videos, you'll see that a house was built for a lady, for a lady with four children. That was interesting. And you're right. I didn't notice you for the times I was able to watch. I don't remember seeing you in the lives. I don't know if you were able to watch some of them, but a lot has been going on. He has been such a blessing and still is a blessing. I think there's a new project coming up. It's a school for the young children. Okay, God, just be safe by God's grace. May He keep you under His wings. There's a lot going on the news, Leaky Baby. A lot of stuff that these people are planning, and they talk about they're doing it in all the like the major cities. That they'll be doing what they do. They'll be in DC for the inauguration. Days before the inauguration, leading up to the inauguration. It's beyond me why these people have to be doing this. Is it because of Kamala? Is it really Joe Biden and the election stolen, or is it because a black woman is going to be the vice president? I don't even understand what's going on because they've done so much and it's still shown that this man lost, and yet they continue with all these issues, you know. So I don't know what it is, um, why it is, but again, prayer changes things, and we just have to keep on praying. Just want everyone to stay safe as you travel back and forth. Just keep your eyes open. Those who have to take public transportation, just keep your eyes wide open and just be good listeners. Don't just. A lot of people walk on the phone, and when they're on the phones, everything else is turned off. But we have to be aware of our surroundings. We have to be careful, and we can't stop praying. We just have to keep on praying. We have to keep praying. And you see, I mean, again, I like to reference my situation with the kids, and I keep saying, and the other day I had to call a parent, and I'm looking and I'm seeing what the kid was doing. I work on the whiteboard that chat, and that program allows you to see what the children are doing. You can click on a grid, and it shows you all the kids in the classroom, and you can look at the work that they're doing. You assign the work, and then you every child has a board working on. And I'm looking at the kid's board and has nothing on the board. And I reach out, and I'm saying to the kid, I'm seeing that you're not doing the work. You need to be on task. And then, Mom, I called and I said, Mom, you're sitting there. Could you just look to see that your child is not? And she was telling me that the kid was telling her, I tried to get on, but I couldn't. I couldn't get on. But I say, Mom, I'm looking at him. If he was not in the class with me, and in that space with the whiteboards, with the whiteboard that chat, if he wasn't in there, he would not have a board assigned to him with his name on it. But she said, well, he couldn't get in. He said he couldn't get in. He might have clicked on it, but it never. And I said, Mom, you're making excuses for this kid. You need to stop that. When we do these things with these children, it grows up to become bigger things. It become bigger things because they will take these little situations, and they go out and expect people to believe these things that they're saying. And when you're trying to point it out, it becomes a problem. Because she was so sure that, yes, he's trying. No, he wasn't trying. Okay, LaShawn, please be good to yourself. And again, we'll be praying for you. Thank you, thank you. And so these are the things that are going on. Somebody lost, and we cannot accept it because we figure, oh, how could we have lost? We didn't lose. We didn't lose. No, those votes coming in do not count. Whose votes were they? Black people votes. So those votes shouldn't count. We're looking at the votes that count. But all votes count. So we have to teach our kids from early too that, they have to we have to teach them the right things. So as they grow up, it blossoms and blooms in them. Because then you have these situations where they cannot accept when they are wrong. They don't know how to accept it because somebody was there shielding them and telling them, no, it's not white, it's half white. And so they cannot learn to accept responsibilities. So it's tough out there, and I'm just saying, let us be vigilant, and let us just look over our shoulders. Not, but just listen to the whispers, because in those whispers there is a lot said. And let us be steadfast and strong as we continue to pray one for another. So, if everyone is fine, if there's nothing more in the minds, then I will just wish everyone well. And I wish that everyone is warm tonight. I wish that everyone had something to eat. I wish no one is in pain. And I wish everyone the best of health. And as Lady V said, all the best for the new year. May we find joy, may we find peace. May we find the love that we need. And it must start with us. We must love ourselves first so that we are able to love others. And as we do those things, may we find peace and contentment. Good night, Roberta. Thank you so much for always supporting. Thank you. Please be well. Good night, Joe. Thank you for dropping in. And I hope your plantings are good. Enjoy them. Lady V, I appreciate you. I thank you for all your support, for all your networking with me, with us, and for being as selfless as you have always been. JS, thank you. Pumpkin, thank you. You have a blessed evening too. We will speak. And Leaky Baby, know you just got home. Going to make something to eat. I thank you for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. LaShawn is gone, and we pray for her, and we just pray one for another. Um, I know Weedy was in the house. Weedy, I wish for you all that's beautiful, all that's healthy, all that's good, and that as a young person growing up, that a path will be made for you so that you can have the success you need. Thank you, everyone. If you can't be good, again, as I always say, be careful and just keep walking good. Good night.